We're honored to have Amir Soleimani with us here. He's the producer for BandCast and the performances that they're doing right now at Route 66 Classic Grill, right?
Yes.
And so first of all, tell us what BandCast is.
We started out as putting band and podcast together. We meant to be doing podcast, and it just turned out to be just performance, honestly. So we put band and podcast, it became BandCast, and we added SCV in the beginning because it's a SCV show. We don't do any bands from Palmdale or Long Beach or anywhere. You know, every band that we present, they have some kind of affiliation with Santa Clarita, and that's where that comes from.
And they are they like tribute bands, or are they all over music?
No, the SCV BandCast is local bands, original music. If I were to go with the covers, there's millions of them out there, and I just basically had to funnel it down to keep it to original and to local. So that's basically, we work with originals.
And the bands, and I'm asking you so people will understand. I mean, are they more themed towards rock and roll or country?
Oh, we don't have any limitation on the genres, honestly. As long as they have to be good, they have to be local, and they have to have original music. That's really what we're doing. We don't want people to go up there and work up other people's materials. You know, they have to have original music, and it doesn't matter what it is. We've had country, rock, progressive rock. There's so many genres of rock these days. So we have no limitations. Again, as long as they're good, and we've been blessed with we've featured like 10 artists last year and about another 3 this year, and they're all top of the charts within our city here. They're really good people, and that's we're blessed to have that.
Yeah.
You don't run into any issue, like any hard times finding people that are willing to audition? Do you have like a pretty steady rotation?
They're having a hard time finding me, honestly, because it started out, obviously, you know, we didn't have too many people, but now that the word is out, now that they know about us, they're sending me, and honestly, that's one of the reasons we went to 12 shows from 6 shows last year to accommodate, and we're adding an opener to accommodate a little bit more. Now we're adding another band within our 3-hour time slot. So there's an abundance of bands out here, and I'm just more than happy to feature as many as I can. So.
Wow, yeah, and garage bands. I'm from the '70s, and when you said they have to be good, I was laughing because a lot of those guys thought they were good. They were terrible. So,
I want to say musicians are a special breed.
Yeah, really?
Those, and one thing they all have in common: nobody starts on a stage under the lights. They all start in the garage, in the bedroom, in their apartment. That's really all musicians. None of them really. It's not like inheritance where you earn this kind of, where you got this kind of money just thrown at you. No, you got to work for your craft. You got to really work on it to make it presentable, and you got to love it. If you don't love what you're doing, that music is not going to make sense to anybody. It has to make sense with you first. And if you see these musicians, this is really where I gained a lot of respect for these musicians, and where I decided to take this up to another notch, is they are the hardest working people in presenting their art. Nobody works any harder than musicians. When you see these musicians, when they have to go perform, they have to carry they don't have roadies. They carry all their equipment. They go in the darkest and dingiest of the places. They have 15 minutes to set up, and they have to, that's engineering to set it up, and then they got to go up there and shine. They got to present the craft that they've been working on all this time. And when I see that kind of commitment, it makes me want to do whatever I can. I'm not a musician by trade, but I've been on the sidelines enough to see and respect what these guys do. And they're serious. And, those who are serious, and they'll be good. There are a lot of musicians who are for the fame, and a lot of musicians who are for the music. Those who have the love for music, I've learned, they're the ones who are going to excel. They're the ones who are going to have followers. They're the ones who are going to be very nice to listen to.
Now, your performance is now all at Route 66?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll have 12 there. When do they start? When do they end?
Well, we do it, and so the music show is on the 3rd Saturday of each month.
Okay.
And because we're a year long, we couldn't lock it down to a time slot, because right now we're at 2 to 5, which is a winter time, and it's a little nicer in the afternoon. But when we hit the summertime and it gets 102 degrees outside, we can't do 2 to 5, so we move it down to
Maybe 6 to
probably
9.
a 6 to 9 or something more
Right.
cooler in the afternoon. So for the time being, it's 2 to 5, but we're going to change it. And I would advise everybody to stay tuned with our Instagram. I religiously post on that, any updates. So
And what is your Instagram handle?
at SCV BandCast.
At SCV BandCast.
Yeah.
How did you get here? Like, how did you start this?
It was really a hobby gone serious. That's really what it is. My background is broadcast television. I work for Fox Sports, so I know a little bit about shooting and videotaping and all that. So when my son came to me, it was like around August of 2024. He said, "Hey, my friend's band is playing at Impulse. Do you mind videotaping it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I got all the toys. I can do that." So I started videotaping, and we did a good job on the audio. So I'm like, let's make a podcast out of this. I invited all of them in my living room, and we did our first thing. One thing led to another. That was really the start. That's when I started going out to these gigs and shooting them, and I wanted to, put it on the Instagram. That's where my respect was gained. And then in the middle of all of that, right around September of 2024, the main theater's manager at the time, Jeff Barber, he approached me. He said, "Hey, this is a city-owned venue." And he said, "The city wants to do a music show, a youth music series. Is that something you want to be involved in?" So anyway, so they offered me 6 dates in 2025. And that's where my hobby became serious. Once I accepted to sign that contract, to commit to the 6 shows, I'm like, okay, this is serious, better do a good job. I'm retired from my broadcast, but I get a little side business at home. But this has become my passion, my hobby, my business, if you want, because I have to treat it
Of
like a
course.
business for it to be successful. This can't be a sloppy,
Right.
hobby thing
You
that you
have
just
to.
do on the side. You got to commit time to it. You got to do what needs to get done. So this is how I got in, and I'm very happy, honestly. At a retired age, don't think I'll ever would have been able to sit home. So this is giving me something to do, and I really appreciate the fact that there are these bands out there that they need to get out of their bedroom. There's only so much you can play in front of a white wall. At one point, all musicians crave to be on a stage to get the feedback, to see what their music, what their passion means to the other people. So when they go out there, they look for your clapping, they look for your following, they look for your comments. Anything you can give them, it helps them, makes them realize that, hey, they're on the right track. They're doing
Right.
something right because it makes sense to these people. So it's a blessing, honestly. And one other thing we did is we created a musicians directory where it's free to enlist. So I encourage all musicians to please send me your information. All the instructions are on Instagram. But I need all your information to put it on the directory. So the directory is not just for the musicians to be featured. Also, I encourage all the event producers to look into this directory and hire from our local musicians. We have really good musicians who are living literally 10, 15 minutes away from the event that's happening. So nobody's traveling 2 hours to come here.
Right.
And they're good, and they want to be on the stage, and they care, and they love our city. So that's what I'm encouraging everybody. This directory that we're putting together, it's all free, no charge to anybody. But I'll enlist everybody. I'll put them on there. I just encourage people to go pull down. Once the information is pulled down, it's between the event producer and the musicians. I'm not involved at all. I just want to put them hand in hand. So
Bands available for private parties or?
that's between, again, yes, the producers and the event producers, and however they want to hire and whatever rate they want to go with, however long they go with. I mean, some of these musicians, they get residencies. They get, one of my really good friends, musicians, Isabella, she has a residency at the farmer's market by Magic Mountain. Every Sunday morning she gets up, and she's there at 8:30 to perform. No matter if she had performed on Saturday night until midnight, that's the commitment I'm talking about. This is what makes me say, you know what? If these kids are doing this, I can be a very small part of getting them on stage, getting them where they really need to be, and they thank me, by the way. I've had quite a few musicians come and thank me for getting them out of their bedroom and then perform in front of a crowd. So
That's cool. Well, Amir, one more time, why don't you tell people where they can get more information?
Sure.
And again, third Saturday,
It's the third Saturday of each month. So I divide it into a music and a truck show. Our truck show is on the first Sunday of each month, and the music show is on the third Saturday. So the next one is February 21st coming up.
Okay.
And, so on and so forth. So we're going to be on the whole year. And please come and check us out, everybody. One thing about musicians, they need audience. Please come out and watch them, like them or not like them, but just be there and give them your reaction. Give them the feedback. Let them know, hey, we're watching, we're paying attention. One of the things I got to just let you know about this also, the demographics of our shows are half family and friends, half community members.
Right.
And these are all, nobody really comes from Long Beach to watch our bands. And we don't go to Long Beach to watch them either. It's really all about us. So our community does care. The city, Mayor Bill Miranda, oh my God, this man has been so supportive of the program and has really helped a lot. And Pilar Chiavo, and they've been to the show, and I've gotten love from the city, from the community, from the musicians. So it's a win-win situation. I really thank you for letting me announce this, and I appreciate the time.
Well, thanks for being with us. We appreciate your time with us this
Thank
morning.
you so much.
Yeah. You're watching the Daily Buzz. We'll be back with you in just a few minutes.